Chateau La Nerthe is the most famous estate in the history of the Châteauneuf-du-Pape region. La Nerthe's fame can be traced to a series of dedicated, passionate owners.
The Chateau La Nerthe is very well known and is so famous because the different owners who own this estate were people who were passionate by the wine and passionate by the vine.
In the 1500s, the property was owned by the noble Tulle de Villefranche family. The name of the estate was Grange de Beauvenir, or Beauvenir Farm. In 1559, the property assumed its current name when it was given to a family member named Pierre de la Nerthe. The Marquis Tulle de Villefranche produced the region's finest wine, and one of the greatest wines in all of France, even served at the court of Louis XVI in Versailles. Not only was the French nobility drinking La Nerthe, but the Marquis shipped his wines all over France, to Italy, Germany, Great Britain, as well as to the British colonies in Boston and Philadelphia. After phylloxera hit in 1870, the property was sold to Commander Joseph Ducos. Ducos, a visionary of sorts, was one of the earliest proponents of grafting the vines onto American rootstock to fight phylloxera.
He did that here in Chateau La Nerthe, and after that the other producers here around did the same. And this is Chateau La Nerthe was a little bit at the origin of the use of the American rootstock to save the vineyard here in the south.
In 1893, Commander Ducos planted a 2-hectare plot on phylloxera-resistant American rootstock called Les Cadettes. This 110-year-old parcel, producing a meager 1 cluster per plant, is used today in the Cuvée des Cadettes, a Robert Parker favorite. Ducos studied the characteristics of each of the grape varieties and formalized the 13 varieties used today. He was also mayor of the town, and in a marketing coup, Commander Ducos got the official name of the town changed from Châteauneuf-Calcenier to Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Following the Ducos era, the winery and vineyard fell into neglect. There had been no replanting for decades. In fact, during World War II, the chateau was left in shambles by the occupying German Luftwaffe. In 1985, Chateau La Nerthe was purchased by the Richard family, whose core business since the last century and a half has been wine distribution and now winemaking. The Richard family owns 2 other southern Rhone estates, Domaine de la Reine-Jarde Côte-du-Rhône Village and Prieuré de Montésargues-Tavel-Rosé. Alain Dugas was put in charge of renovating the property and restoring La Nerthe to its former glory. Christian Veux is the general manager and winemaker of Chateau La Nerthe. He comes from a small village 15 miles north of Châteauneuf-du-Pape called Ségoré. Christian spent 25 years at Chateau Montredon before joining La Nerthe in 2008. He talks about one of the unique features of the appellation, the large round stones, or galets, which have this shape because they were rolled here from the Alps over many thousands of years.
These big stones are keeping the heat of the sun during the day, and they release it during the night. By the way, the temperature here in the vineyard is not very different between night and day. After a very nice sunny day, if you walk here in the vineyard, you will feel the heat coming from the soil. This is really impressive.
Warm nighttime temperatures accelerate ripening. In most terroirs, they'd be undesirable because they also deplete acidity. This is not a problem at La Nerthe because, as we'll see later, they're able to harvest early while acidity levels are still high. Veux explains that underneath the stones is a layer of soil whose composition is critical to the plant's survival in this hot and dry region.
You will find the soil, see? This is the soil we have in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and this is sand, this is the clay. Here is the life for the vine, life for everything because the clay keeps the water. And the climate is very, very difficult here for living.
The other distinguishing feature of the Châteauneuf-du-Pape terroir is the wind, or mistral as it is called. It prevents mildew and rot by drying the grapes after a rain, giving it the nickname the wine doctor. It also slightly dehydrates and concentrates the grapes and produces berries with thicker skins. The most tannic wines, therefore, are produced in vintages such as 2005, when the mistral is the strongest. Chateau La Nerthe has been a certified organic producer since 1998. The only vineyard inputs used are sulfur for powdery mildew and copper sulfate for downy mildew. Instead of spraying insecticides to fight vineyard pests, pheromones emitted from these dispensers disrupt the mating patterns of moths which could otherwise destroy the crop. The Châteauneuf-du-Pape Rouge is La Nerthe's most important wine, representing about 18,000 of the 20,000 cases that La Nerthe produces. It's about 60% Grenache with Syrah, Mourvedre, and Cinsault, and small quantities of the 9 other grape varieties. It's aged for about 12 months, 40% in small wooden barrels, only 10% new, and 60% in large wooden tanks. A key point that distinguishes the La Nerthe style stems from the fact that they are always the first to harvest in Châteauneuf. This is partly because they're located in the southernmost part of the appellation, and also because the vineyards are primarily south-facing. But Alain Dugas and Christian Veux, who took over in 2008, share the same philosophy, that harvesting early preserves the grape's natural acidity, freshness, and fruit character, producing an elegant, balanced Châteauneuf-du-Pape that's charming in its youth and in the best vintages can age for 20 years.